Well, the Portfolio Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy has commended the Free State Police for fighting illegal mining in the province. More than 10,000 people have been successfully prosecuted for illegal mining in the Free State between 2012 and 2022. The Portfolio Committee was doing oversight work in the Free State following that deadly Fontein mine disaster. Well, let's speak to the committee chairperson, that's Sahlulele Luzipo, joining us this morning. Sahlulele, good to have you on eNCA. Appreciate the time. Let's first of all start with Fontein, if we could. That's directly affecting people's lives. What is the latest on the ground? Let's talk first of all about support for those who had their lives destroyed. What have you seen? What have you heard?
Good morning to you, Gareth, and the viewers. Yes, it's a quite a bad state, what we saw when we were in Fontein. Yes, we must appreciate the intervention that has been made by many South Africans and institutions. For an example, others have been able to drop food material. There have been NGOs that have made intervention, but also we must appreciate the fact that the Minerals Council has also pledged that they will at least contribute through a relief fund an amount of about 50 million rands, and I think that is commendable. But there is still a lot of work that has to be done beside the recovering exercise. There is a lot of devastation emotionally. I think it's it's a matter of the traumatic experiences that the community has been subjected to, and we hope quick interventions in terms of counseling activities will be able to be effected.
And people want accountability as well, don't they, Mr. Luzipo, as well? Who's in the crosshairs of the Portfolio Committee at the moment? Is it the mine? Is it the owners? Who are you chasing after? Because I'm sure you're very angry with somebody. The question is, who are you angry with as a committee?
Look, I think it's a straightforward matter. All those who have been part of the transaction, from the time the mine had been reopened, information we get is that it was reopened around 2007. It has exchanged hands almost 3 times. And in the process, unfortunately, it has been happening outside the mineral industry regulations that are supposed to be conducted by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy due to a court decision around the issue of the mine dams. But there is one issue that is quite clear. You have a company that has got employers who have got no good relations with their own employees in terms of labor compliance. That's what workers were saying, that this is one of the worst employers that they've known. 2, you still have got a problem that between the community and the mine itself, there is a lot of concerns that you can see. But also, if you've got such a mining activity that is taking place, when you enter the town, you can see that there's nothing that is being done in terms of social responsibility. Lastly, there is no relationship, not just with the community, but there is no relationship with the institutions of the state, like local government. The situation is quite bad as far as relations are concerned.
I'm hoping to circle back around to Fontein in a moment, Mr. Luzipo, but let me just ask you this because it's such an important story as well. Zama's illegal mining. Let's just talk about that for a moment. So the last decade, I'm seeing these reports of more than 10,000 people prosecuted for illegal mining. And that's important as well, because it's one thing to have arrests, isn't it? It's quite something else for prosecutions to take place as well. In your mind, in your own mind and the Portfolio Committee, did you think illegal mining was this bad in the country? It seems you're getting on top of it, but we're only scratching the surface, aren't we?
Look, yes, it is obvious. It depends from different areas where you encounter that situation. But when you look, for an example, in the Free State, you see a complete improvement. First, in terms of the closure of the mines themselves, but secondly, in terms of the effectiveness of the South African police services. One issue that we must say, Gareth, and we're not questioning the law, but we are very bit uneasy about the issue of the sentencing, because what the police were saying, what has been frustrating them, is the fact that the judgments and the sentences that are given are too little, and these people come back. One thing also that I think it must be appreciated in the Free State is the fact that on the arrest that we are talking about, you also have officials, men in blue, police officials that have been prosecuted successfully. You also have employees that have been prosecuted successfully, to an extent that you even had cases of 4 South African National Defence officers that were also arrested and have been sentenced effectively. Lastly, in terms of the police interventions, I think one of the things that must be appreciated is that when you look at the Zamazamas, you can call them the runners. You can arrest as many as you can. If you don't deal with what we call level 4, level 5, your kingpins. And you've got about 10 of those that have been arrested so far.
Yeah, it's what do they always say? It's cutting off the head of the snake as well, right? You're going to just end up chasing the snake around the whole time. You've got to cut off the head as well. But it is good news as far as fighting illegal mining in the country is concerned. At least some feedback as well as far as Jagersfontein is concerned. 50 million rand in support as well. So doing something at least. It should never have happened, but at least the Resources and Energy Portfolio Committee is doing something. Mr. Luzipo, thank you very much. Appreciate your time as always. Chairperson of the particular Portfolio Committee, Mr. Sahlulele Luzipo, joining us here on eNCA.